to our midweek technical analysis video. So keeping things short and sweet here. There's not actually much to go over other than the fact that gold has now created a new all-time high. If you have been following along with our technical analysis videos, it was something that I said was inevitable, and as you can see, the inevitable has happened. So gold is now trading at 3,575, which is actually 750 pips away from the most recent all-time high at 3,500. I'll just go over and mark a couple of things in now. As you can see, we did see price push up. So originally from where the market opened up, which was about here, we saw some slight bearish divergence with a higher low created at around 3,435 to 3,440. Price then pushed up, and then throughout the early hours of the day, going all the way through to the London session and New York session, we saw low volume, low volatility. What's very interesting, as you can see, these big bullish pushes were throughout the Asian session. So the volume that has pushed price up, other than today, which I will get to, is throughout the Asian session. So economically and politically, it says a lot about the Asian side of the world. If you do know about the economic status of the world, you will know that Russia, China, and I believe another country that I don't know on the top of my head came together and done sort of a war march, if you will. They sort of showed their power, showed their new weapons, and that has obviously shaken America a little bit and shaken the dollar, the reason why you can now see people resorting to gold and putting in their buy orders. So if you are just tuning in and this is your first technical analysis video, we have spoken about this many times before, but I will go over it again. The dollar index, which you can find by typing DXY. So the dollar index represents the strength of gold. The strength of the dollar. When the dollar weakens, gold price increases. Vice versa. When the dollar is strong, gold's price becomes weaker. So definitely, when you are looking at gold and you're wondering why is it doing what it's doing, it is all based on the dollar. So basically, it's almost like a fear factor. People will see that the stuff is happening around sort of the US economy that is going to weaken the dollar. People see the dollar weakening in value, and people resort to gold as it is one of the most valuable assets that there is in the world, and there's only a limited supply of it. Obviously, as you know, the US dollar, the Federal Reserve can print as much money as they want and as much money as they please. However, you can't just go and create gold. So that is why people resort to gold when they see the US dollar weakening. However, going over our technical analysis then, as you can see, price has just been pushing higher and higher and higher. Higher highs created with the most recent higher high, which was very interesting when I was watching this throughout the Asian session on the Monday. I saw the level of 3,500 tested, which, if you know, was the previous all-time high for gold, and price did actually deflect off of this level, only temporarily though. As you can see, once we saw the Asian session come to an end, London session kick in, and then the volatility of the New York session, you can then see all of those. It's weird how you see it. So you can see all the Americans waking up, entering Wall Street, busy, and they're all buying as much gold as they possibly can, and you can see that effect take place here throughout the entire day of the Tuesday. As you can see, volume then started to slow down. This is very interesting. So throughout the Asian session, there was sort of a battle between the buyers and sellers. So people were sort of throughout this push here, throughout the Asian session, buyers were very strong. However, as you can see, now America has stepped in and they've started resorting to buying gold as well. You can see that throughout the Asian session, it's sort of there's no overall bias. There's no real competition here. It's buyers and sellers just sort of going at it. Lower time frame, I'll show you, moving in sort of a consolidating fashion. So, and then again throughout the New York session today and continuing on, you can see that price is just pushing higher and higher. There isn't many levels that we can mark up. However, there is going to be a couple here on our minute 15 time frame. So I'm just going to be marking in a couple levels of support and resistance. So the reason why I'm marking in these levels specifically is because I can see that price is testing at these levels as both a consistent level of support or a consistent level of resistance, or both sort of mixed together. But other than that, there isn't any levels higher than this that we can actually go off of. So the main level that we're going to be looking at as of right now is the level of 3,540. If we see price retrace to that level, that's going to be the first level that we could expect price to hold up as a support. However, there is going to be more support levels along the way, especially if price does continue, that will be established once we see that retracement, price finds support and then continue on. Obviously, we are now going to be looking at fair value gaps. We're going to be looking for sort of volume. I will go ahead and grab a volume. Hang on. I'll grab a, what should we do? We'll do a we'll do a FRV, a fixed range volume profile. So what this will do is you can sort of drag this over the chart and it will show you where the most volume is. So as you can see, the white line will indicate where the most volume was, and as you can see, it is at the top side resistance of this level. But you can see that there is no bias of who is stronger. It sort of looks like buyers and sellers are sort of the same. Again, it goes over that Asian session battle. People are buying, people are selling. However, as you can see from sort of, if I go ahead and grab another one of these and just sort of mark it in from here to here, you can see that the most, a lot of people were sort of buying around this level and obviously selling as well. A lot of sell orders were completed. This can just be people that are in previous sales and they're getting stopped out. But however, this level here is very, very interesting. You can see that we had another battle between buyers and sellers. Buyers did slightly win by the looks of it, and that's the reason price is going to continue. We'll most likely will see price continue to the 3,600s. But as of right now, we don't have much information to go off of, so we're just going to sort of have to analyze the chart and touch back in on our post-week market review. So with that being said, that's going to be our mid-week technical analysis video. If you are watching this video and you don't have a challenge with us, be sure to check out our website at goldfunding.io. If you message me through the website, message our support, you might be able to get sorted out with a little discount code or something like that. But if you haven't got a challenge with us, be sure to buy one. We are offering sort of the fairest chance out there in comparison to other prop firms. But yeah, so that's going to be our midweek technical analysis video. As always, I hope you've all enjoyed, and I'll catch you in that post-week market review. Peace.